Professor Pradeep Khosla, Professor Shobhi Bhattacharya, Professor Siddharth Mukhopadhyay, my colleagues, guests, alumni, students, staff members, ex-employees, which I can see many of you have come here, the press, the media. Today, as Professor Bhattacharya just said, what is today? Today is the day when it began. This is the day when it began. And more importantly, this is where it all began. If we do not remember this sense of history, that before this was a jail, and 60 years after that is a celebration. A celebration of what we could do, of what this hope, dream set on 18th of August could do. As Professor Bhattacharya mentioned, built on martyrs, the IIT system today, IIT Kharagpur in particular, is considered among the finest products of post-independent India. It is not the building. It is not those 5 followed by 7 followed by 16 IITs. It is the people. All over the world, all over the country. For 60 plus years, we have demonstrated that we are people who can change the world. Yet, today, the world continues to look upon us for the highest quality talent. And the country looks upon us today to solve its most critical problems. The world has become more complicated. And as we have grown in excellence, our responsibilities have become more. Therefore, today is the day, as he said, Professor Bhattacharya said, is of celebration. Today is the day of remembering that ordinary man who sat and taught people like Pradeep Khosla, today Chancellor of UCSD, how to do electrical measurements. Today is the day to remember those teachers, staff members, and students. When these buildings were not there, today is the day to remember that teacher who would sit for hours after class to explain to that single one student a doubt that was to be cleared. And therefore, it is important for us to remember it, because time erases memories, and very important memories will be lost. Sentiment has to be converted into determined action. Overflowing sentiment, overflowing celebration without determination of action will be a wastage of everything that we live for. The IIT system knows how to fight when it is to fight. The IIT system knows when to lead when it has to lead. And the IIT system knows when it is to back up when others lead. These are the most important characteristics of our system. And we have to preserve this, we have to document this, we have to tell the world how it happened. And that is what we are here for. We have to celebrate this day to remember the contributions of the people who made it happen. As Professor Shobhi Bhattacharya said, we have to rededicate ourselves to the cause, but we must know what is the cause. We must relive the cause, because most of us live the cause without knowing the cause. We have built the IIT system without dreaming that we would build it this way. We built the IIT system because we were allowed to decide who will come into the IIT system, either as students or faculty. Nobody was allowed to interfere. We were able to build the system because we were given the mandate to decide what we will deliver to our students. Whether good or bad, criticism is something that we have learned to absorb. People say that within an IIT, if there are 590 faculty members, there are 790 autonomous units. So each person, some of them are 2 autonomous units. And therefore, in this changing world, we have to reinvent ourselves, not only through hard work, but through enriching collaborations. Because we understand that there are excellent people better than us in many things that they do themselves. And we have to provide the base for generation of young minds to form the basis of their lives. We in the IIT system form the basis of lives of people. What they take back sustains them for a long, long time. Therefore, we have to continue to create people of the highest kind, where the brand IIT transcends the department, the discipline, and everything else. And we must remember that if things go right, then this place, and if the world does things right, then this place eventually will become a pilgrimage for people to come and see. Here is where it all started. So in order to do that, we thought there are 2 things we should do. One is decide on what will ensure that we build this pilgrimage. So we are making an announcement today that IIT Kharagpur is going to set up what is called a Hall of Fame. A Hall of Fame that will document the history of the IIT system. That will remember every person that we can remember who contributed to developing this system. I was walking through a very ordinary village a few days ago, and outside one nondescript house was written, "This is the house of Prafulla Chaki, the first martyr." Similarly, we wish in this digital world to document every person we can remember who built this institution, so that their generations and people will be proud. You remember many of our parents and grandparents used to say that I went to jail for IIT, for India. So they will say that my grandfather did something for IIT. So we will build this Hall of Fame and we'll try to build it in the best way possible. The second thing and the second announcement, having thought of everything that we do and what we should do, not only for the world, but for India at least, is to build people, irrespective of the discipline. And we need people with holistic thinking, people who can think overall, holistically, in this world which is becoming more and more complex. And we need to get our students, our staff and faculty to imbibe that spirit of holistic knowledge, oneness, or whatever you call it, so that when they go out into the world, they become leaders of a different kind. And that is why we have decided, and the announcement today is that we are setting up a Vivekananda Center for Human Development and Leadership. These are the two things that we have decided to do to rededicate ourselves on this August occasion. And I'm very delighted to let you know that two of our alumni have come forward to say that if you want to do this, we will make it start. Professor Tapan Prasad Bagchi, who was a professor as well as an alumnus of this institution, has given the first seed grant, agreed to give 50 lakh of rupees for initiating the Hall of Fame. And as a professor, he always he came to my office at 9 o'clock and said, I'm very sorry, I cannot come and attend this function for some time because I've decided to take a class, because if I don't take a class, and I come to this institute as a professor, so I've been invited to take a few lectures, so I'll do that and then join in the celebration. This is what our people are like. Professor Pradeep Khosla is an illustrious alumni, and I don't need to repeat the details. And for his leadership, for his caliber as an academician, and for everything that we could do, the Senate agreed that we will give the honoris causa of the institute. He was tied up in another function which he had committed on that day, because there was an occasion of him starting something deep in Africa, and he had to be there, because that was something very unique that he had started, among the many things that he is well recognized for. But then when we requested, so he said, what is the next opportunity? So I said, Pradeep, we found it. And he's come here only for this. And we are deeply indebted to him for having come all the way only for this. And I'm sure, Pradeep, that all of us greatly appreciate his coming here today. I was just wondering what IIT Kharagpur means to us, what it means to me, and just because today is also another day, we remember in some of our own customary ways of that little child whose foster mother tried to bind him with ropes, and the ropes were unending. She could not bind him. Today's also the remnants of Janmashtami. We also, this institution has developed so many godlike children all over the world who have grown so big that the institute cannot bind them by any other rope than the rope of love. They are giants in their own domains. They have made the institute proud, like some of us here are seeing. But to all of us here who belong to this institution, I thought, what does this institution mean to us? To all the people who are so great, who are so bright, who are so big, we want to make people so big that we cannot bind them with all our capabilities and strength. Yet, they will continue to tell us, and that's the only thing that this institute wants to hear. Tu maiya hai sneha ki jyoti, hum sab teri kirne, teri aanchal ki chhaya mein, behte sukh ki chhaye, teri charnon ki dhuri mein maiya swarg samayo, maiya swarg samayo. Let us treat this institution, this day, this place, like we would treat it.